udon noodles from scratch is not hard, and they are insanely delicious. Today I'm going to show you how. We're making Dan Dan noodles. I have been obsessing in Chinese food lately and really just sort of digging in and understanding the techniques of why certain things are prepared a certain way. And when you make it from scratch, it all becomes very logical. And I'll show you how once we get into the udon noodles, but this basically, Dan Dan noodles, I've been obsessed with it. So I figured I need to make my own from scratch and show you guys how easy this is. It's basically a Sichuan street fair food, and it is insane. So first to get started, we need to make the dough. 300 grams all-purpose flour, 150 grams warm water. It's about 2/3 cup. And now we need 6 grams of kosher salt. Basically, we're making a brine. Slowly drizzle around the edges. From time to time, you just want to push down the flour to make sure it's all catching into the dough hook. See that? That's what you want it to look like. It's gonna look a little dry and crumbly, and now we're just gonna knead it and it'll all pull together. You're gonna need a little bit of potato starch, or you could use cornstarch, and you need a very, very little amount, not much. I have a little bit of extra warm water on the side because depending on the climate of where you live, you may need to add a little bit more. There was a technique, a very traditional technique when you're making this dough, because it's a really firm dough, it can really tighten up and it's hard to knead. So they put it in a plastic bag and they knead it with their feet and stomp on it. Because the dough is rather tough and you need all your body weight to sort of smush it out. It works like a charm. Fold it vertically, then horizontally, and that's just for the gluten, so we get that nice chewy texture. So you want them to run in opposite directions. And we're gonna just do this 3 times. And that's what you want. So you're gonna leave it in the bag, push out all the air, let it sit at room temperature 2 hours. Or you can refrigerate it overnight. Easy way to prep ahead. Potato starch, cornstarch. Just a little bit, you don't need a lot. Now you just want to divide it into 4 equal portions. On setting number 1, we're going to roll it through. Let's roll it through 1 time. Turn it to number 2. Insert the spaghetti cutter. Before you pass it through the pasta cutter, you're just going to lightly dust both sides with the potato starch so it doesn't stick. Yeah, boy, look at that. That's gorgeous right there. Now for the beef topping. So you could use beef, pork, chicken. I love to actually use a New York strip steak. And then I'm just gonna finely grind it myself. You're gonna add it right into a bowl, and now we're gonna marinate it. This is what makes this meat so delicious. Ginger root, best tip, grab a spoon and then just peel your ginger. It just easily removes the skin. You wanna grate 2 tablespoons fresh ginger right into the bowl. Then 4 garlic cloves, grated. 3 tablespoons low sodium soy sauce. And I use this a lot, and you guys always ask me, what did she say? Mirin. So it's a sweetened sake. It's basically a sweetened rice wine. It gives a nice sweetness, great contrast to the salty soy sauce. And we want 2 tablespoons. And then just give it a stir. So basically, this is our marinade. We're gonna just let it sit and hang out for about 10-15 minutes while we're prepping the rest of our ingredients. So you're gonna need fresh Thai bird's eye chili. You can get these at any Asian grocery store. And we're gonna need about 10. Remove the stem and then chop them up. 5 to 6 cloves of garlic, So you want to slice the entire green onion. So we need about 5. Dark greens are a garnish. Light greens, you use those to saute with. Heat a 2-quart sauce pot over low heat. 1/2 cup canola oil, avocado oil. You could even use grapeseed oil. So the key here is a neutral flavored oil. Then we have the whites of our green onions, the garlic, and all those chilies. Give it a little zhuzh, little kosher salt. You have to add the salt, otherwise the flavor goes flat. So we're just gonna pan roast this. We're basically gonna just do a slow roast to infuse all that great flavor. For color, add 3/4 teaspoon paprika. And then I like to just give it a little blitz with a hand immersion blender. It's very traditional to use Sichuan peppercorns in Dan Dan noodles. So we're gonna toast some of them and grind them. So by toasting them, we're really just releasing all the flavor before we grind them. Add the peppercorns into a mortar and pestle. You can also do this in a coffee grinder and then smooch them up. Add a little of the Sichuan peppercorns. Now we make it a sauce. 1/4 cup mirin, 1/4 cup low sodium soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon rice wine vinegar. Add the chili oil. You're gonna add 1 to 2 teaspoons of sesame paste, and that just sort of gives you a really velvety sauce and pulls it together. It's the emulsifier. Bring a 6-quart pot to a rolling bubble. Here's the deal, when you're making Asian noodles, do not salt the water. If you're making pasta, you salt the water. Here you don't, because as you could see, when we made the noodles, we had that nice sort of salty brine. When I say that, I mean in a good way. So these noodles have great salt flavor. And you want to immediately stir them, so that way they don't stick. Heat your wok over medium-high heat. 2 tablespoons avocado oil, canola oil, peanut oil, any neutral flavor oil, high smoke point. And then we're just gonna add our marinated beef right into the wok. Break it up into little teeny tiny pieces. We don't want big honking chunks. You wanna stir fry it until it's completely browned, about 5-6 minutes. Season the beef with a little Sichuan peppercorn. Sichuan. And kosher salt. You just want to give them a little blitz with cold water just to stop the cooking, but we don't want the noodles to be cold. Now let's plate it up. Chili oil in the bottom of a bowl. Spread it out. Add our homemade udon noodles. Add the beef right on top. Don't skimp. Use the strip steak. Chives, because you're fancy. Just take the noodles and toss them into the sauce. And that's Dan Dan noodles. Let's give it a taste. It's not too spicy. The chili oil is perfecto. The noodles are so tender, so chewy, just the way I like them. They're super easy to make. The beef is absolutely insane. It's so flavorful. Don't skimp. Don't buy ground beef or ground pork. Literally grind it yourself. It's so much better. This is insane. Heavenly. So delicious. Make your own Dan Dan noodles at home because you can. Make your udon noodles up to a week ahead. Make your chili oil up to a week ahead. When you're ready to make this entire dish, your Dan Dan noodles, brown the beef and make the sauce and toss all of it together. It's so good. If you like this video, you learned something, give me a thumbs up. Comment in the comment box below. Be sure to subscribe. I do roll out a new homemade made easy recipe video each week. At least I try each week. But if you want to check out more of my other recipes, you can click this video link right here or click this one. I'll meet you over there.